Hey and welcome, I'm Hammeh and some hot off the press Overwatch lore and story news. Some of the upcoming Row Uprising comic confirmed yesterday has been leaked a little ahead of schedule. Now this video is quickly covering that news. Warning, this is spoilers. It contains a few spoilers, not the whole comic, but certainly a few. I will do an in-depth comic analysis of this comic when it releases properly later tonight. So fair warning, if you don't want to be spoiled at all, stop watching this video. Perhaps check out my other Overwatch lore videos and analysis of previous comics that I do in the link below. But do come back later to this channel once the comic is released for a full run through and analysis of all the juicy lore and story details. Okay, that's your spoiler warning. If you're ready to get as excited as I am for this comic, let's go. So for those of you who haven't seen it before, Madefire is a company that does animated versions of all the Overwatch comics. Go check out their website, you can download an app for your phone or tablet, they're really quite fun. You might have seen some of the footage in some of my lore videos, I use it quite often, it's really cool. Now on their website today, an eagle-eyed redditor, thanks Jim Ray for this, spotted the description and preview. So here's the comic description and cover. It's called Uprising. Obviously we knew from the video teaser a day or two ago that the next event is going to be the Row Uprising or centered around it. The title quote of this comic is, "I fought to survive and I'm willing to fight for the world too." Now I thought that must be Tracer, given her fight against disappearing in time perhaps. It would be amazing if it was someone else though. Winston fighting for survival on the moon. Who else of the other Overwatch cast could it be? Here's the description. 7 years into Overwatch's past, on the eve of a historic peace accord, Row is seized by an extremist faction of robots known as Null Sector. The British government forbids Overwatch from interceding, which means Strike Commander Morrison must decide whether to disobey orders or stand by, while thousands of lives are in peril. Now, quick thoughts on this. I'm not going to go into full over-analysis mode, as I'll save analysis for my analysis video later today. The peace accord. Who's it actually between? Is it Omnics and humans in the UK, or Omnics and humans generally? Is this perhaps the source of the medals picture that we've seen in previous Overwatch trailers? Now, some countries like Australia sounded like they did their own deals with Omnics. It'll be interesting to see if they were doing them alone, or whether it was part of a wider Omnic movement worldwide, perhaps. Null Sector. Well, some blogs have mentioned Overwatch keeping the peace against rogue Omnics, so we know that they've existed, but not what or how they've acted. This comic's going to tell us something about that. Sentience and self-awareness can be a good or a bad thing, of course, so extremist Omnics robots, perhaps robot terrorists or similar, could bring a different dimension to the fight and the 2 decades of peace that Overwatch apparently brought to the world. Thousands of lives are in peril here, so something pretty serious is going on. Now, for Overwatch not being able to help, Overwatch was in past blogs, lore that we've seen, accused of violating nation sovereignty, going in and acting where they weren't allowed to. This seems to be one such an occasion, and note that due to the 7-year timeline that we saw in the video teaser, this is confirmed. It's just before the fall of Overwatch, I think, when this actually happened. Perhaps this was the nail in the coffin of Overwatch, who knows? Very exciting. My final point is Morrison. Well, he has to decide whether to intervene or not. Look how much whiter and greyer his hair looks here than some of the Golden Age posters that we've seen in previous trailers and little video assets. He didn't get white hair overnight. Here are the preview panels. Now we see Morrison, Honor and Reyes perhaps getting the news in some kind of comms centre. We also then see Morrison going to the training room, maybe dropping off Ana Amari on the way. We can see that that's her room or quarters according to the panel on the wall. And then Morrison, when he's in the training room, we can see Tracer, what looks like Genji. Tracer's fighting against Genji. Take a look at those shuriken flying around in that Tracer panel, and also having a chat with Mercy as well. And Winston is there too. So that's all pretty cool. Maybe this is the pre-mission, the first bit of the actual comic, and then we see them go into the mission if they go and act. I'm guessing they're probably going to, but let's wait and see. Finally, I think this is going to reflect a little bit on the Brawler event. With a few more details about the story, we're going to be fighting these rogue Omnics, this Null Sector. I would imagine this is going to be PvE. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be excited for that. Perhaps something like Junkenstein's Revenge, perhaps something entirely different. But I can't wait to find out. It's only next Tuesday that we have to wait till. For the comic, we're not going to have to wait long whatsoever. This comic's release date on Madefire is marked as the 5th of April. I'd imagine we'll see it in 3 or 4 hours time from when I release this video. It's going to be about probably 4:15 in the UK right now. It might be even less. If you're watching this, you should check out my channel later today, perhaps now, depending on who you're watching, for my full comic analysis, which will be live as soon as possible after the comic launches. It's going to be later in the evening UK, so I can do all of the lore full justice, of course. Do throw a sub or a like if you're looking forward to it, and you're not going to miss that video later today, I hope. Are you excited for this comic and event now, or even more so? Do let me know in the comments, and I look forward to enjoying it later. Do of course have a look at Tracer's outfit as well in some of these preview panels. Maybe we're going to see a few new skins as well. Cheers for tuning in. I've been Hammeh. Take it easy.